All right, let's check the microphone. That looks like it's working. I'm seeing dots. Dots is a good thing. All right, perfect. So I'm going to give it 1 minute here before I officially go live. But what we're going to cover here is building out your client acquisition workflow, starting with Smart Directory AI. So basically, I'm going to go through exactly how you can start prospecting, that is, reaching out to clients, workflows that you've already got set up, how to use Smart Directory AI in particular to do all of this stuff. So that's going to get you your cold email set up in a way that actually works using templates that are automated and even using some ChatGPT to make sure that you get the advantages of AI and tailor everything to you. But let's go ahead and dive into it now. All right. So I'm showing you how to build your agency, and this is going to be really the first video in a whole series. We're going to do probably like, I don't know, 7 weeks of these, something like that. And for this one in particular, my main goal is to get to where at least we have the emails set up and your prospecting emails are already ready so you can start sending them out. We may not quite get there because I've got 30 minutes to do this, but we're going to get as far as we can. Ideally, we would even add all the businesses and start sending those prospecting emails. And then next week, when we get on here, then you would be able to see some of the results over the course of a week. I'm not sure we're going to make it through all this, but we're going to just kind of like dive into it. So first things first, I'm using Go HighLevel as the basis for my outreach, and I'm doing that in a couple ways. One part of it is it's my CRM, so my like relationship manager, so I can actually see what people are, where they are in the pipeline, and reach out to them, communicate with them. The other is it's actually going to be the foundation for my directory site. Now, a directory site, if you're not familiar with website directories, it's just basically like a Yelp or something like that, but it's a list of businesses. By me having that directory site, I can reach out to these businesses as the directory site owner, put their listing on there and say, hey, you've got a free listing, here it is, do you want to claim it? And that kind of opens the door to communication. So what I'm going to use is Smart Directory AI that builds the directory site for you. It's out of the box. So at this stage, all I've done is in Go HighLevel, I installed the app, which is, if you're familiar with WordPress, kind of like equivalent to a plugin, but a lot more robust. So I installed the Smart Directory AI app. So that's already there. And then I installed the snapshot, which is basically just like all your preloaded templates of like workflows and things like that. And workflows are what kind of like hold on to all those emails that you're going to send out automatically. So anyway, those are the two main things that I've done. The preview site comes already loaded in, so you can see it right now. And this is all just dummy data that's in there. So when you get your site, it's basically a site in a box, and you open it up and you've got everything there that you need. Now, this dummy data obviously is not going to be your directory data that you need to reach out to. You're not going to reach out to these companies. You're going to replace it with additional data. So we're going to go through all that. That said, you also get complete training. So beyond what I'm doing here, this is going to be a little bit faster paced, but like a real serious breakdown of each step. A guide to like premium listing and pricing, and we'll talk more about that. And then what I've already done is install the snapshot, connected Stripe for premium payments, connected the domain, and I'll show you what I did there. And I've pulled leads from Outscraper, which is just like a scraping website. So I actually have like business data. We might not get to the point where I can upload that, but I'll at least show you kind of the process. Now, if you go through us and you do get Smart Directory AI, we actually give you 100 prospects, 100 businesses to put in there. So you don't have to worry. You just have to like email us and tell us what your directory focus is. So you'll have that first 100 automatically. But it's good to know how to pull like a mass listing as well. Again, I won't dive too much into it, but you can use a bunch of different scraping tools. All right, so let me go through. This is, again, the preview site, but in my Go HighLevel account, this is what I'm going to see. I'm clicked into the Smart Directory AI app itself. And if you can see these listings, that's what all of these businesses are. Those are the business listings. The first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to click into branding. And I'm going to go to edit, because this is kind of like the powerhouse where you're actually changing key aspects of the website. So I did upload a header logo, a footer logo, and a favicon. They're all the same, basically the same image. I just went to Google Nano Banana, sorry, and I just asked it to create a logo for Round Rock businesses because my domain name is roundrockbusinesses.com. Round Rock is a city here in Texas, not too far from me. So it created one. I asked it to create one with a light background just so I could have that variance. And then if I just typed in here, make one that's a good display for a header, and I'm going to change the aspect ratio to be, I'm probably going to guess wrong here. It's going to be either 9:16 or 16:9. I forget. I'm going to assume the length is the bottom one. So we're going to try 16:9 and we'll see what happens. So make sure the aspect ratio is 16:9. All right, let's just see if that gives us a better header, and then I'll replace that, and you'll see when we update what that looks like. And should be pretty quick here. Cool, I picked the right one. So I'm going to be able to crop this, so don't worry, because there's a lot of white space here. And so I downloaded it. I'm going to go ahead and replace this header logo. So I'm going to click this little upload icon. And I don't think there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and import it. And now you can see that I'm cropping it. I just like it to be a little bit tighter because generally if you have all that white space, it's just going to look a little off because the spacing and padding and margins are already taken into account. And I could choose a different background. There's a lot of stuff that I could do in this. I could edit it in Canva, but let's just go ahead. Now that I've updated that, I do need to come down here and click update. And similarly, I could add social links, and I'm going to do that as well. So if you don't add the facebook.com, if you just add, if you don't add the www, if you just had that, then it would think that it was another page within your site. So you just need to make sure for all of these to add the HTTPS, www, and that way it'll actually link to the proper area. I'll show you the difference. So if we just put LinkedIn like this, I'm going to update, and all three of these things are going to be updated. I'm going to go to my preview site, just hit refresh. And so you can see I probably wanted to tweak the image, make it a little bit different, but you can just see how easy it is to change my header logo. So now I'm going to scroll to the bottom where my social links are. And if I click on this Facebook one, this is not a real business site address. I just kind of put something random in there. So obviously it's not going to go to a real site, but it does go to Facebook. But if I click this LinkedIn one, it thinks that it's supposed to append what I put in the URL to my current website or business website. So you just want to be cautious of that. Make sure you take care of it. And before I forget, because this is a live website, I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to remove both of these because neither of these exist. All right. So the other thing that I did that I mentioned that I just want to show you really quickly, and I've messed this up before, so I want to make sure you don't. In Go HighLevel, you can connect domains by going into settings, and there's a domains area. For Smart Directory AI, you actually want to use this domain tab that I'm clicking on, and I'm pointing at my screen for emphasis, I guess. You want to go to domain, and you want to click domain connection info and do whatever it says here, which is just to make one record. Now I'm through Cloudflare. So if I were to do this again, I would click add record, and then I would add the record here. I would do the @ symbol, and then whatever the address it told me, I would just put in here, and I would turn off proxied. I already did this, so I don't need to do it again, but that's what this record here is stating at the very top. Hi, Z's the day. I appreciate that. Carpe diem. So that connects the domain. Once we put all that in, we then hit update, and then it might take a couple minutes. So that's why I wanted to do this up front. But now, because I did all of that, I can actually go and if I go to roundrockbusinesses.com, we can see the exact same site in my preview. So that's what I wanted to show you there. So we can still use the preview. You can use either one because that preview link will stay. But since it's connected to the domain, you can even see that we changed the favicon up there, which is this little icon. So all of this is branded, or at least part of it is branded already. And I left the auth logo the same. For now, I'm just not going to worry about that. But I could also change the colors, the background, a lot of different things. This is just to show you what you can do when setting it up. You don't need to do everything right away, but I would say change your header logo, footer logo, favicon. I would also change the auth logo. I would just use, honestly, the same thing that you're using for your header logo there. And your footer logo can be whichever one you want. And then I'm going to click through a couple of these just so you can see. Pages, you don't need to worry about this. You can add additional pages. You don't need to worry about it though, so just ignore it. Header content. This you might want to change and update with your actual content information. But I don't think we actually are showing that on here, so I wouldn't worry about it initially. And some of these other options, I'm not going to walk through all of them, but you can explore yourself. A lot of it's pretty intuitive. The other one thing that I do want to point out is this content. Oh man, I'm not showing something on my screen. Yes, I am. You are my hero. All right, let's show the correct thing. All right. Well, that's fun. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to basically start over so you know what I'm getting after. So yeah, I was 100% not sharing the important stuff, which is all the information. All right, thanks. See, if I had not carpe diem'd and read that message from you, more important, if you had not seized the day and sent me that message, we would have been lost. All right, so back to the beginning here. What I was showing you is a lot of what you can actually do with Smart Directory AI. So what I've been going through, and I already mentioned what I've been updating and everything. I'm just going to walk through that really quickly. And I'm at this Smart Directory AI tab. And this is just where I've already installed it, got all the business information that just comes with it. It's all dummy data. And then what I wanted to do, so I installed it, installed the snapshot, and there are further instructions on how to do that. What I wanted to do is go to this branding section and make some of the edits to make it customized to me. So right here, if I click edit, you can see the thing that I was talking about. So I've got a header logo, footer logo, auth logo, favicon. I've updated 3 of these. And I just went into Nano Banana and asked it to make me a logo. It was pretty good. So I just had it make me one with a light background. And then I had it just expand the logo so it actually has the information a bit better display for the header. And we put the header logo here. Footer logo, I left the same as my favicon. And I'm just going to change the auth logo. So we've got a quick little demo of how that works. And there we go. Took a second for it to pop up. And I'm going to use the same logo that I used for the header. I'm just going to show you it allows me to crop the image. So I always like to have it tight because in most places where you have the logo, you'll already have some padding or margins around it. So I just crop everything in tight to the actual logo itself. Cool, so you've got that. And we can change the home meta title, the home description, and all of that. We can change all the colors. But what I want to show you is if we were to add a Facebook link, so for all of our socials, these are all going to appear on the footer. But the important thing to know is if you don't put this www, I always put the HTTPS as well, then it's going to think that you're linking to a page on your site. So if we just do it this way, linkedin.com/rock. I'm sure this is not a real URL, but I'll just show. Then I hit update down here, refresh my preview page. Scroll down to the bottom. You can see that I've got 2 social icons because I filled those in. If I click on Facebook, it goes to an external link. This is not a real link, but it goes to the actual external link. And then if I click on LinkedIn, because I didn't put that HTTPS and that www, it just gives me this, it appends it. So you just want to make sure that when you're putting your links in your socials, they're correct. All right, so let's get back to it. All right, so like I said, you can customize a lot of different things. I am going to walk through what I did for adding the domain again. Now I want to be clear, for Go HighLevel, you can add domains by going into like these side tabs, into settings, and then there's a domain section. You don't want to do that here. So when using Smart Directory AI, because you're actually creating your directory within it, you want to use this section to update the domain. I've made that mistake in the past. It didn't work out so well. But what you want to do, it's fairly straightforward. You click domain connection info, and then you want to read through all this and take care of this step. The key here is you're going to create an A name record in your DNS server. So that could be like if you're hosted on GoDaddy, Namecheap. I'm on Cloudflare, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. But all you're doing is, and I've already done it, but I'm just going to kind of like walk you through the same process as though we're doing it again. You go to your DNS server, you hit add a record, the type, and it's going to look a little different depending upon, again, like which you're through, but the type is going to be an A record. Use @ for the root, and then you copy in that value. If it's something like Cloudflare, you turn off proxy. Like I said, I already did it, so I'm just going to hit cancel, but that's what this top record is for me. And it's going to be unique to you, and then you have to actually like full on connect it. So once you do this, you hit update, you enter your domain in here, you hit update, and then it's going to propagate. And that might take 5 or 10 minutes. That's why I did it ahead of time. But you can see if we go to roundrockbusinesses.com, the domain name that I have, then I've got everything. And if we scroll down, because I updated those social links, that's also updated. So it doesn't just update the preview site. All right, so let's see. So I've shown how we've connected the domain. Yeah, let's walk through the premium plans, because that's, well, first, before I forget, let me go ahead and remove those socials, since we don't want those as they're not real. So I'm just going to hit update again, do a quick refresh to check. Cool, they're all gone. And let's go back up. And now I want to go to plans. So if I were to click into, if I were to go onto this drop down and then click into pricing, I can see that right now there are 3 plans. Now it actually comes with 2 of them, and I added a third. So I'm going to remove that third and make some adjustments and show you exactly how to do all of that. So I'm just going to delete this third, which is premium. Hit delete. And no one was connected to it anyway, so I didn't get any errors. But you do want to make sure if you have businesses connected to a plan, you don't want to just delete it. I would just create another and do it that way. So now if I go down to pricing, I only have those 2 plans, and I'm going to show you how to edit what's listed here, because I have address, phone as the only 2 odd items that someone can change on this free community listing. And for local spotlight, I have that their email address isn't showing. So I'm going to modify these a little bit just to show you exactly what to do here. And there is a pricing guide that you get as part of the whole like course and installation and everything, which this links to. I'm not going to actually walk through everything, but just so you know, because you probably have a lot of questions on like how you should price different things, what makes the most sense, you actually have that guidance, so you don't need to worry. So I have this as free community listing. I'm going to leave it named that way. Currency is US dollars. And I'm actually going to turn on the website for them. And that's that. We'll just leave that. There's no free trial necessary because it's free. Plan updated successfully. Local Spotlight is this other one. This is the paid plan. You could put in a monthly price. So if I do 19 bucks there, then I'll have the option for them to do annual or monthly pricing. I recommend annual personally. It's fewer opportunities to decide not to pay. So over the course of a year, if they make one buying decision and they say, you know what, over a year, it was worth 250 bucks, that's easy. But if every month they have to justify the cost, they may decide that they don't like it. So that's my personal thought here. It's supported by some things, but it is anecdotal, so I don't want to lean too far into that. But now we could go to what features, and I'm going to turn on email address for them. That was the big one that was shut off. I could also turn off like events and jobs, and they couldn't post those. I could turn off news feeds, and I'm going to go ahead and just turn those off. Free trial period, I'm going to say no trial period, but you can add the number of days. I'm going to hit submit, plan updated successfully. So now we can go to either the preview or the Round Rock Businesses site. We see these options monthly or annually. All right, so now that we've done all that fun stuff, and you're actually seeing my screen again, shout out, Z's the day. And we are going to, I've connected Stripe. I could use an external payment link. We have more trainings on that specifically. I've got the domain, I've got leads. So let's update some key business information. Now I'm gonna show you where some of that's pulled from. And oops, I wanna go to settings. I'm sorry, I wanna scroll, looking for my profile, there we go. So business profile. So I already have my business name in here, Round Rock Businesses, and that's going to be something we care about later for the emails in particular, which is why it needs to be updated. And then I also have the business website. Again, these are important for your emails later. So you want to make sure that's updated. I put in a fake address here just because I wanted to have something. You can add additional information, but the key one that we're going to look at is going to be that business name and the website. So I'm just going to go back now and we're going to look at the workflows. I just wanted to show you where that lives, because what I want to do is look at the coolest part, which is the actual prospecting email workflows that are all automated for you. And I'm really hoping, we're coming up on like 10 minutes left. I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm going to hope that maybe in 5 minutes I can get enough tweaked for us that we can at least upload the businesses and give you a little more information here. So let's go to automation. And because I imported that snapshot, all of this is already there. Everything from here on out that you're seeing, I have not touched. It just comes with it. We are going to make some changes now to customize it, but this is going to show you all the outreach flows. You get these already. So right now, no businesses are enrolled. We just have those fake businesses on the site. And when you start prospecting, we're not going to outreach to those. We're going to look at this workflow that just comes with your installation. So we're not going to worry about adding a trigger right now or anything like that. We're just going to worry about the actual emails themselves. So email warm-up, not going to worry too much about that. What you can do, however, not going to worry too much about like changing the name on that. What you can do is we are going to just look and peer in here and see what's going on. All of this stuff in brackets is being pulled automatically. So anytime it's got contact, it's from that business themselves. So when I say it's automated and you don't need to worry about writing this stuff, that's what I mean. It's pulled automatically because it's based on the values there. The flip side of that is you want to make sure when you're uploading a new business, you make sure that you're mapping the fields correctly. So I will show you how to do that. Again, I don't know if we'll get to it this video, but we have enough time that I should be able to at least discuss it a little briefly. The other part of it, when anything with location here, location name is pulling in your business name, and that's why we want to make sure that's updated as well. And so those are the key things. Location.city, we also want that updated. So you want to look through these emails and make sure that you've got values in all the relevant areas. So I think we actually didn't add the city, so that's something that we will have to change. But I could hit preview right now, and you see, yeah, I can tell right now because it has just the location.city in brackets. We need to go and update that. So that gives you a way to make sure that you've got everything right. And then we'll up to location.name. I think I only put in business name, not name. But you can see that the value for one of the businesses is actually filled in correctly. So let's go back and make that change. And I'm going to go back to workflows, settings, business profile, and oh, you know what? Let's go into Smart Directory AI here. I updated that. Let me hit update information and go back. Smart Directory AI. Let's go to branding. Oops, sorry. Let's go into settings. And branding mapping, workflow review settings. Let me update the name just to be us. Round Rock Businesses. And branding. Social, that is updated. Domain, category, menu, those look good. Let's my profile's good. Business profile. Let's see why that wasn't pulling through. I might leave that for now. We might have to fix it in a minute here, just for the sake of time. Yeah, so let's double check that workflow and see if we're still having problems. So we're back to automation, Smart Directory AI workflows, outreach workflows, free listing workflow, and warm up. Now, if I use location.name here, then that's automatically going to pull in. I could always change it to something different, but I highly recommend you do keep those. Yeah, I might have to fix those. I might dig in to see where that is, the location.name and the location.city, because I do recommend you just keep them as is because it's already set up that way. If you needed to replace them with something else, though, another variable, then you could go in here and go for custom values and do business.name. So let's just preview that really quickly. Oops. You can do business.name or other items, and it would pull from there. Let me get back to you on that one because I think I'm looking at the wrong area. But nonetheless, so we're not going to send the emails today, but let's look at the email template and let's modify that. So in this case, it's actually pretty good because it just says that you're in the process of building out the community resource and you want to give them the best information to find, or the best place to find information about your location. And your question about adding the tag name business. So you actually want to add them to the workflow itself, so adding them to the business, they will be put into the directory. So that should be correct. Are you seeing them at all in the directory or not at all? So we can look at that really quickly now because I don't think we'll have time to get into the emails, so I can try to answer that for you real quick. So if you're in Smart Directory and you've got so actually we'll just head into contacts. So for example, this tag of business, that's not showing up. So if I go into this individual location, actually I don't even need to go into the location. If I decide that for this business, I want to remove a tag, then I can just remove, let's say, business. Moving business from hidden key. So then hidden key will no longer show. Now, did you check on the progress of your action? like if you go to this bulk actions area, because right here, this one says complete. So if I go to my preview, for example, I'm just going to refresh. Yeah, it's completed. You know, it might be, I shouldn't have picked something. I'm not sure what a category the hidden key is. I have to look at that. Probably should have picked a restaurant or something where it's easier. So like mine, you can see all listings now are down to 35. But if I add back that same value, then it should be updated. And you're saying it's business singular and you added it. Do your other tags from the demo have, no, I wouldn't wait for their approval. You might want to reach out to support and just see, do you have, if you have like Loom or something and you can do like a little recording, that's always helpful. But yeah, I would reach out to support because I might not be able to get the answer to you on this call. However, I'm going to show you if I add this tag back, how it should work. And then you can look back and see if there's any difference between what I did and what you have showing. So now, like, you can see the hidden key escape room, it doesn't have the tag. I click this and I click to add a tag. Add back business tag. And so we add that back. Check progress. Just going to refresh because this should be pretty quick. All right, so now let me go back to the Smart Directory AI. So if I look back at there, then I have 36 listings again. And then if I went into businesses, which I probably should have just shown you before because this is easier to find it, hidden key is back in here. So yeah, I would reach out to them. But if you did that series of steps, that's the right way to do it. That's the right way to add them. And you can bulk add and everything like that. There's a chance that some things aren't mapped correctly. And so that's the other thing that I'll show you really quickly. We'll go over like 5 minutes here. And we'll say tweaking the emails for another time. We'll just group all the email stuff in here. But so I'm not going to show you the upload exactly, but I'll show you just down here. I've got notes on how you need to map the columns. So there's a chance that you have everything uploaded, but maybe some of the columns aren't mapped correctly because the business name, for example, must be mapped to the first name column. So there could be something else like that where you uploaded and when you were doing the mapping, it wasn't 100%. So let me, we've got 2 minutes. I can probably try to upload really quickly. So if I want to upload additional businesses, let me give the caveat that I have not opened this, or I have to download the spreadsheet really quickly. All right, cool. So I've got a spreadsheet. Give me 1 minute to pull it up and upload it. And yeah, I think this should be good to upload. So I'm going to not go to add contact, go to bulk actions. And it's been way too long since I've done this. So let me go back. Let me. All right, so you created your own contacts and did a bulk upload. You did not manually add the contacts. Your CSV file could be missing info, or it could be that you keep going here. I thought I would get a bulk option. Or it could be that it's not mapped correctly. So that's the other option there. And Why am I not seeing where to do a bulk upload? Am I crazy here? Oh, import contacts. I am crazy here. There we go. All right, so contacts is what I'm going to select. I'm not going to select opportunities. And then I'm going to drag and drop my file, which it's in Excel, so it might make me convert it to a CSV. We'll see if it lets that slide. Yeah, it'll take 2 seconds for me to convert this. So give me 1 sec here. And downloads. All right. There we go. All right, so before uploading, you selected the correct mapping, only the phone number and website. I'm not sure if the phone and website are required, but that could definitely be a problem. So I would try, did you do a smart list? Because if you did something where it's easy to just delete the contacts, I would delete them all. And then I would try re-uploading with those mapped correctly. So like this needs to be first name. And actually I'm gonna go ahead, we're just gonna use the guide that I have here. So business name must be first name, phone, email, website, those should all match. So site needs to be website. Category, I don't really care about here. I'll add that manually. Phone is phone. Let's double check address. Address needs to be street address. I don't think we need domain. We can leave the ones that we don't need, but phone and company phone should be the same. They look to be. City, state, zip. City is city. Postal, let's double check. Yeah, postal code is what we want. Zip to postal code. So postal code is right. State is right. And then email. Did we see email? I don't think we did. No. So let me find email here and make sure that one's right. Oh, I'll be so upset if I didn't check the box to grab email. All right, so I'll upload these. The email might be a problem for me here too. Oh, that's a shame. Man, all right, outscraper. I guess I gotta play that game again. So I'm gonna say unmapped columns. We'll see if even without the email, this one goes through, because if it doesn't, then it could be a symbol that it's the same kind of problem. I'm gonna create a smart list and we're just gonna go for it. Obviously, I'm gonna have to delete these because we don't have the email, so prospecting isn't gonna work that well. But workflow, I am going to add a tag of need email. I'm just going to add that in here. And that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. I'm going to confirm. So I'm going to hit a little button down here, start the bulk import. And we're going to go to bulk actions and just see progress 11%. So we should be able to see if 11%, if these are getting added. Oh, you know, I didn't have the business tag to them, so that was dumb. We look at contacts, and let me add the business tag to a few of these. And let's just see if that works for you. Add business, test. All right, so we just added it to those three. We'll check the progress. It's probably pretty much done by the time I click here. Yeah, so that's all I had to do there, but I wonder if you didn't have the phone and website, if that was a problem. But when you add the business tag, if you're seeing the number of listings here, correct? But for example, because I think the three I selected are dentists, um, if I go to, well, you know what, let me go to here and actually just select the businesses because I don't think I added tags to them. Let's go back. Sorry, I'm going to check back in contacts. Round Rock Dentists. Let's go. So Castle Dental. Let's find that one. So if I wanted to edit this listing, so let's say you do have everything just mapped in correctly, I might try this if I were you, if your listings are there, and go ahead and update it manually in here or edit it in the contact. The other option would be to try the re-uploading thing, but I would just reach out to support, see if they can help you. But this is a good way to at least check and see whether or not it was added. And then for example, for like Castle, I can add a business tag. So I want to add a business tag, and I'm going to see dentists. So another way to do it is if you find one in there, add the business tag for the category. And then I'm just going to refresh and should be able to find it. Health and wellness. Yeah. So yeah, give it a try, see if that works. But that is still actually how we do our importing of businesses. So it helped to answer a question anyway. So it worked out really well, at least on my end. Hopefully it works out on yours. Try those couple things. Reach out to support if you have like pictures or images or anything that you can just give them to better describe the situation. That's going to help. But that just about wraps it up here. We went a little bit over, but thank you. Definitely kept me on track. So I appreciate it. And if you think of anything else, put in the comments. We'll address it. Support's good for the support concerns, but I'm happy to answer whatever questions I can. All right. Thank y'all. Have a good one. Bye.